Today I'm going to make a video on intuitive eating. I'm going to talk about what intuitive eating is and whether I agree with it and in what situations I do agree with it in. Okay, so firstly, intuitive eating is eating when you're hungry, stopping when you're full, and eating what you crave. Sounds great, right? And the idea is if you eat in this intuitive way, you'll stay healthy, you'll be at your body's optimal weight, and all will be good in the world. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to talk about intuitive eating in eating disorder recovery. At the beginning of eating disorder recovery, I 100% do not agree with intuitive eating, and this is because, especially with anorexia, and EDNOS, and possibly even bulimia, where a patient has been restricting, hunger cues can not appear. And even though someone is suffering from this lack of hunger cues, they still need to eat, and you can't kid yourself that, oh, I don't have hunger cues, so I don't need to eat. Because you're not going to get healthy and you're not going to recover and live a long, happy life if you're not eating. And, part of recovery is having to eat. And if you're intuitive eating and listening to your body and you don't have hunger cues, then it's just not going to work out very well. In addition, I think your eating disorder voice can trick you that you're not hungry and, say, oh, maybe you're just bored, or maybe you just feel sick, or maybe you're just not hungry. And it can kind of get rid of, the voice can manipulate you into thinking you're not hungry. And so until you get more control over your eating disorder voice, obviously intuitive eating is not the best idea, and I think it's better that you stick to a meal plan or some sort of vague schedule, so like breakfast snack, lunch snack, dinner snack. That's what most people do. That's what I loosely did most of the time. And yeah, I think that's the best way to eat in the beginning of recovery. Nearing the end of recovery, when you're reaching remission, I agree with intuitive eating a little more, but there may be times when it's obviously not best to eat intuitively. One of these is say you're sick, be it mental or physical. So say you have a cold and you don't have much of an appetite. I think unless you feel sick to your stomach, and your body's obviously saying no food, if you feel like you're about to throw up, don't eat. But if you're just not hungry, then you need to eat. Especially if you're in recovery from an eating disorder and you personally believe or think there's a risk that if you were to not eat as much for a couple of days until you feel better, that is going to trigger those eating disorder voices and set them off again. Obviously it would be better in the long run for you to continue eating breakfast, lunch and dinner, whatever you can. Obviously you don't need to eat snacks if you're not feeling very well and you're not hungry, but definitely I agree. I think that you need to at least get 3 meals in, because otherwise that can quite easily manipulate your head into thinking you don't need food and turning into restrictive tendencies again, and we wouldn't want you relapsing when you're already so close to being in remission. And again, even if you go through a bit of depression or something, even if you're in remission and you go through a bit of depression, I think people lose weight sometimes when they're depressed because they lose their appetite. And weight loss is the number one trigger for a past eating disorder. You see you're losing weight, then you want to lose more weight, and if there's other things going on in your life, which there probably are if you're depressed or anxious, it's just gonna create that perfect storm all over again. And so in that case I don't agree with intuitive eating, because if you need to make sure you're eating enough so you don't create that perfect storm. And if you are depressed, if you're not eating enough carbohydrates and you're not eating enough calories, you're going to be about 10 times more depressed than you would be if you were eating enough calories and eating enough carbohydrates. Can I just put that out there right now? Yeah, anyway, so for people who have no eating disorder problems, or their eating disorder problems are all behind them, and yeah, they're just normal people. Intuitive eating is, sometimes I agree with it, sometimes I don't. It depends on what your lifestyle is like already and what you perceive intuitive eating to be. So if you have an unhealthy lifestyle, sorry, my voice is horrendous today. If you have a really unhealthy lifestyle and you're eating lots of burgers, lots of cakes, lots of chips, lots of sausage rolls, you just like eating a junk food diet and not eating much fresh fruit and vegetables, and not eating many whole foods, then I don't agree with intuitive eating, because the more you eat these unhealthy foods, they're processed in a way to make you want more of them. So when you crave something, naturally you're going to crave the junky foods that you're used to, or the junky foods that you've been brought up on. So it's not really great to intuitively eat then, especially if you're looking to transition to a more healthy lifestyle where you're eating lots of fruits and veg. I mean, if you're going to tell me that you're not transitioning to a more healthy lifestyle because your body needs junk food. No, your body does not need junk food. And yet, junk food is nice to eat. I eat junk food, but not as the main part of your diet. Your body does not need it. It's an optional extra to be enjoyed. It's not necessary for the body. What is necessary for the body is fruits and veg and legumes and grains. And obviously junk food isn't. So if you're transitioning to a more healthy lifestyle, you need to wait until you've got to that point where you enjoy and you're starting to crave healthy foods, which honestly I promise you it will happen before you can start intuitively eating and not fall back into your more unhealthy past. And yeah, that's my view on intuitive eating, and I'll see you in my next video. Remember to like, comment and subscribe, and follow me on my other social medias. Links will be down in the description.